Hey guys, what's going on? It's Alex at FI Instagram. Today we're taking a look at some wheel unboxings, but we're actually very excited. It's a little bit different than what we're used to because I'm gonna bend over and hopefully the microphone doesn't freak out. Oh, wow, yep. Is it better now? We're just not gonna bend over. These wheels are from Variant. Variant. Ow, the cat claws hurt. Variant alloy wheels. If you haven't heard of Variant wheels, it's a little bit of a newer brand that's really jumping in and focusing on some bigger wheel sizes, some very unique stuff. They're using cold forging technology, which is their version of flow form, to create some lightweight, good looking wheels, specifically focusing on some of like the wider application setups. So specifically, these two wheels that we're gonna be unboxing today are actually from Mario's R35 and then an R8, which is mine, which would be very, very exciting to actually take a look, because what Variant can do is it has actually a couple like quirks and features that make it really interesting. Number one is the fact that you can actually build these in a super wide range of offsets, because Variant can actually go and like trim down the back pad to get whatever offset that you want, which means that the fitments can be built into whatever you would like. It's actually a very neat tool. I don't know why they gave me this. I don't know why they trust me with it. So we're gonna unbox one wheel for my car, one wheel for Mario's car, which is what we're super stoked about. And then we're gonna run these bad boys all year round. We're actually gonna run them through the winter time. We're gonna daily drive on them. We're actually gonna see how good they hold up, how much we like them, all that sort of good stuff, which makes me very excited. So to start off, they give you a bunch of stuff. They give you a little license plate bracket, which is pretty exciting. We actually just talked about a video where you get pulled over in like Pennsylvania for having this, but in Wisconsin, they do not care. Mostly because they're probably too cold to actually get out of their car. And then, ooh, there's some stickers in there. You get your invoice. Don't really care about that too much. Oh my goodness. It smells so good. Oh, that's great. That's good stuff. All right, so we're gonna be unboxing two, the Argons and the Xenons. So this is actually the Argon, and this is, ooh, they actually put it in there for me. So 20 by 11, we actually got an ET, so an offset of 26, and then it's, let's see, 27 pounds, 27.05 pounds, and then this is the mirror polished center cap insert. I'm very excited. This is the brushed titanium finish too. So, it said that there were additional parts inside. There are additional parts inside, and what's inside are some hub-centric rings. So thank you, Variant, for sending us those, because that can be a pain in the butt when it comes to putting on the car. Okay, let's do this. There's the side profile, which already gets me really excited. That finish looks nuts. And then you actually have some back pad carving in the back here, which is actually really nice. I'm very excited about this. The spoke has a lot of back pad carving as well, which is I'm just trying not to move because apparently the microphone's gonna freak out. All right, so on three, we're going to take this off. I'm very excited. Hopefully you are too. 1, 2, 3. Cool, so here are the wheels. These are going on the R8, and I am very, very excited. So these are the brushed titaniums. These are the Argons. They wrap the lip, which is actually very, very nice, so that you don't have to worry about any sort of what they call box rash. It happens very often with wheels because you got cardboard that kind of just brushes up on it for, you know, wherever it comes from. And so to have this is actually really, really nice. And I am doing a terrible job at peeling all of this off, but I don't really care. Let's take a look a little bit about the features of the wheel, which make me very excited. Number one, got some sick concavity, which is actually really nice. I know it's a little bit of a different size for the fitment of the car, but I'm really excited to see actually a little bit of concavity. Number two, the finish is nuts. I love this finish. It's a super clean, very consistent finish across the actual barrel and the lip and the spokes and the side of the spokes, which is really nice to see. Definitely took their time with actually going through the whole wheel to brush it up as much as humanly possible. A couple other little notes that I like about it that make it different. We talked about how I think people have been really getting aggressive with their stamping on wheels, and I'm not sure I'm a super big fan of that, but they do a really good job at making very small, very kind of minimalistic looks to show that it's JWL VIA certified. It's got the Variant logo. It looks super, super clean. and it's honestly just a really kind of like a liquid finish on the wheel. You've got this like recessed point behind the spoke, which just is a nice little touch to give it a little bit more depth. And then on the back side, you also have the sticker for variant, which is something that you really don't see anymore. So it's a 20x11, you get your offset, ET26, which would be nice. You know, if you hang on to a wheel for decades, sometimes it's really cool to just know what it is. These are one of those wheels that I don't think are gonna go away. Probably one of my favorite designs is the thinner multi-spoke. It's just a good look for anything. And then finally, last but not least, if you notice this, a lot of like the more VIP style wheels and the things that are going on like sportier applications, bigger wheels, have a tendency to where the spoke design will go all the way to the out of the lip. So you can actually see that it extends out to here, and then you have the outer lip. It recuts in right here, and then you have your dive back. So just kind of a nice touch to make it look a little bit bigger than it actually is. This is a 20-inch diameter wheel. It's 11 inches wide, and then the offset is 26. So it's a plus 26, which means from the center of the wheel, the actual mounting hub is 26 millimeters towards the front. So super clean looking wheel. I don't even care what Mario's looks like because I feel like mine's just so much cooler. I am going to see if I can put in maybe one center cap on camera. It's gone. Oh my Lord. Oh yeah. So Variant does this thing where you can actually put the Variant like logo or the lettering in the center cap if you so choose to, which is a super like cool little touch. And I love the color that they chose. That blue is actually a really nice color. Then here's the actual cap itself, which is really nice. Let's see if I can plug and play it in. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, but let's give it a shot. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh no. Oh! I rate that installation an 8 out of 10. So the center cap was actually super easy to install, which is actually kind of shocking, and I really love the way that it kind of all pulls together. The lettering is gonna be something that I will install. I'm not doing it right now. Just kidding, I am. I can't make a decision. I can't do it. I can't do it. We will wait and we will see. All right, stop pressuring me. So now that we've got the actual Argons unboxed as a 20x11, pretty excited about that. You guys can go and take a look at these if you want to on fitmentindustries.com, plug. And now we're gonna look at Mario's and his Variant alloy cold forged, all right, cold forged Xenons. So really just an overall solid wheel. You got a really good finish, you got good concavity, it looks solid, the packaging was awesome, you get a bunch of goodies, and on top of that, you get a flow formed barrel, which is gonna make it as light as humanly possible without it being fully forged. All right, next up is Mario's, calm down, Mario and his Xenons. All right, so I actually took this out by accident. Don't tell him, I already sniffed his one too. Oh, it smells really good. He has his wheel too. So they actually do individual air fresheners to the wheel. It's the small things that matter, and that is just so neat. All right, let's take a look at the Xenons. Now this is a different finish. This is the satin, or I think they're calling it the satin gunmetal. So this is the satin gunmetal finish. This one looks really good too, and this one already has a center cap. Here is Mario's Variant cold forged Xenons in a 20x11, and I believe we're looking at an offset of right around 15. So that's pretty nuts. So we're looking at a 28.4 pound wheel, cold forged through the barrel. You've got a lot of concavity coming out there. As much of the back pad is carved out as you possibly can, but then also with GTRs, you do have the unique thing of dealing with a lot of clearance issues. So they maximize the clearance to make sure that at least you can get as much clearance as possible without losing the concavity. Now the double 5-spoke is really, like, I don't think it's anything super duper crazy. It's not like blowing the world out by any proportions, but it's a very well done design. And there's a lot of little details. Again, you have the VA over here. You've got the JWL and the VIA stamping here. You've got a really nice flow of color. The color to the center cap matches really well. You've got some nice like indentation on the double 5-spoke, which just gives it a little bit more depth. And this is one of those designs where I think it complements the look of the car versus trying to like outperform or outlook the car that it will go on. So I think it's gonna complement the GTR super, super well. I love how it kind of fades away once you get closer to the edge of the wheel. You do have the spoke going all the way to the edge of the wheel as well, which is gonna give it that bigger look we've talked about in the past. And just, it's a super clean design. The paint is really well done. The finish is really well done. I prefer the brushed finish. I just think it's a little bit of a cooler look, but that's not to say that they didn't do a good job on this finish as well. It's just literally personal preference, and I just like my preference more than Mario's. The variant Argon and the Xenon are super good looking wheels, and I'm gonna actually put them both up here. Both of these wheels are absolutely stunners, and when you actually look at it, it's kind of interesting to see how the offset and the design plays into it, especially with the clearance for an Audi and a clearance for a GTR, which is really, really neat. Absolutely love these designs. I think Variant did a fantastic job. I'm super stoked that we both get to run these pretty much all winter long. We're gonna see how they hold up. I think the brushing is actually gonna look super cool once we get some snow falling around here in the good old Wisconsin winters. And of course, you know, at the end of the day, they're both beautiful designs. But let us know what you think. You know, these are both flow form. They're both different finishes. They're both different designs, but they come in different finishes, the bronze, and they come in black, and they come in all just different sizes and offsets. So they're really trying to capitalize on options for you without jumping into the forged wheel market and the prices that you're gonna pay for that. So check us out. Let us know what you think. FitmentIndustries.com. You can check out Variant wheels there. Variant, thank you guys so much for hooking us up on these. Really excited to get these on the car, see what they look like, see how they perform, and of course, maybe get some nice tires on them, slam it on the ground, and see just how everything pans out. Let us know what you think about the wheels below. I'm Alex from Fitment Industries, and we will see you later. Peace.